I've long had a feeling that Trey Murphy was the target for the Golden State Warriors, and now we have a new report saying that the Warriors have real interest in trading with the New Orleans Pelicans to bring Trey Murphy to the Bay Area. We'll break down this report in just a moment, but first, I was getting kind of trash talked when I just first walked into the office this morning. 76ers Now host Jake Chipper said that Warriors today is washed, and we can't get likes anymore. He said we couldn't get 400 likes in this video, so I'm asking Dub Nation right now to prove him wrong. Go down below, smash the thumbs up icon on today's video. What's going on, Dub Nation? You're watching Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Tyler Smith, and here is the full quote from Jake Fisher of the Steinline, who went on a Bleacher Report live stream and was just talking transactions around the league, interest around the league, and Trey Murphy's name popped up, and the Warriors popped up, and he said Trey Murphy in New Orleans is someone the Warriors really have interest in. And here we go. I think this is the target for Golden State here as they try to move Jonathan Kuminga away and bring in somebody to complement Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green. This is who the Warriors are trying to trade Jonathan Kuminga for. I would at least assume he is their top target when trying to move Jonathan Kuminga this upcoming season. They're trying to bring him in on a deal in excess of $20 million instead of him accepting the qualifying offer so they can move Kuminga's contract and just better build this roster out to try to give Steph, Jimmy, and Draymond the best chance to go out and win another ring. And as far as Trey Murphy goes, man, there might not be a better fit in the entire National Basketball Association. 25 years old on an awesome deal right now, and he just eclipsed the 20-point per game mark last year. This is a real two-way player, a 3-and-D wing to the highest level, the highest extent in the entire league. He plays elite defense on the ball. He does a great job jumping passing lanes and getting out on the break and in transition. He's awesome on that defensive end. But the strides that he's taken over the last couple of years have been awesome on the offensive end of the floor. He could always hit the catch-and-shoot jumper from the outside, but he has really developed a bag to his game. He can work in the mid-range. He can hit the step-back three over tight defense. Like, he is a legit dog on the offensive end right now, and that's something that the Warriors really don't have. A high-volume, high-efficiency 3-and-D player who can go out there and create for himself. And that is a dime a dozen in the NBA. You don't find that too often. So could the Warriors end up swindling the Pelicans here with a trade? Well, they didn't have to way back when, actually. Remember when I said Joe Lacob decided to, kind of force the Warriors' hand to draft Jonathan Kuminga over Franz Wagner at number 7 overall back in 2021? Yeah, well, the Warriors could have done the same thing with Trey Murphy, by the way. They could have drafted Trey Murphy over Moses Moody there at pick 14, too. So could you just imagine Steph? And Clay probably never leaves. You probably have Franz Wagner, Trey Murphy, Draymond, and whatever else you got building out the roster. That would have won a championship by now. But look, it didn't happen, and Trey Murphy has been in New Orleans this whole time, and he has gotten better every single season he has been in the league. Yeah, the three-point percentage has dropped down in 2024, 2025. Who cares? The volume went way up, and he's still shooting about league average from that range. He is an excellent slasher, crazy athlete, honestly. He can attack the rim, can punch a tomahawk dunk on somebody's face. Like, there isn't really much on the basketball floor that Trey Murphy can't do. He's nearly averaging a steal a game over his career so far as well. I'm not joking when I tell you guys this. Like, the Warriors have an NBA Finals level ceiling if you were to add Trey Murphy right now. The one hole in the Warriors starting lineup right now is at that 2-guard spot. We don't exactly know who's going to fill that void yet, whether it be, Brandon Pajemski again or a Buddy Hield they go with on some nights or a DeAnthony Melton. No, Trey Murphy would have an established role as this team's starting shooting guard for the entire season. We would never see a switch up of the Warriors starting 5 that would look something like this. Steph Curry, Trey Murphy, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, and Al Horford. And look, you're playing with a bunch of veterans here. You're playing with guys who missed some time. Trey Murphy, if you guys saw in his career, has missed a good bit of time during the season. So, there are question marks here, but this is a big-time gamble that I believe could really pay off. You have a bench rotation of Brandon Pajemski, Buddy Hield, Moses Moody, DeAnthony Melton, Quentin Post. Like, yeah, you're a little bit small, and I do think there are some question marks in the front court here still. How much weight can Al Horford carry on his shoulders? But, the top-end offensive output that this team could have, it rivals any team in the Western Conference. They have as good a chance to win the West as I think anybody if they had Trey Murphy instead of Jonathan Kuminga. With that being said, be the GM for me down in the comments section. Should the Warriors make a trade for Trey Murphy with the New Orleans Pelicans. T for trade, P for pass. I'm trying to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments section. Alrighty, because I think it's a no-brainer. The Warriors absolutely should trade for Trey Murphy here. The hiccup when it comes to making a deal is not only Kuminga, who we'll talk about in just a little bit, but it is the contract that he gets. And, kind of tying it into Golden State here, the contract that Jonathan Kuminga is being offered right now does not match what Trey Murphy is making this upcoming year. You see he's making $25 million in 25-26, then 27, then 29, then 31. And, by the time Trey Murphy's 28 years old in 2028-29 and he's making $31 million, that's going to look like maybe one of the best deals in the entire NBA. Cap's going to shoot up way up by then. Guys going to be making $70 million a year. And you have a bona fide all-star making 30. Yeah, that is going to be an absolute steal. But that's not really the issue. Golden State would love to have this contract on their books, even though they don't want to have guys past 26, 27 really on the roster. But Trey Murphy's a player that they'd be willing to make that sacrifice for and pair him up with Steph after he hits free agency. But this isn't the issue. The value on the contract is not the issue by any means. Golden State would love to have it. With the current Kuminga offers that they have out there, Kuminga is not being offered $25 million by Golden State in this upcoming season. So Golden State would have to add another player to the trade if they wanted to get this thing done, at least with the current offers that they have. Does Kuminga accept either one of those current offers before October 1st? I do not know. But as far as what's out there right now from Golden State, who doesn't appear to be budging, at least this second, they would have to add another player to the trade. So I decided to concoct this deal. The Warriors would be sending away Jonathan Kuminga and Guy Santos, who, let's be honest, isn't going to have the most consistent off-the-bench role next year. With all the signings that Golden State is going to make and just the way that the roster is going to look, just a little bit deeper than last season, I think Guy Santos will probably get pushed to the back of the rotation. I would love to see him in there, though. He's a great hustle guy. It's unfortunate, though. I'm willing to trade him in order to go out there and get Trey Murphy. You also gave away 2 first-round picks. Even if it's 3, and you can trade 3, I'm doing it still if I'm the Golden State Warriors. Because it's pretty simple as to their perspective on this. Why would the Warriors do it? Well, Trey Murphy's the best player in the trade. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's light years better of a fit. You can argue about talent and what Jonathan Kuminga would do as a member of the New Orleans Pelicans, but you cannot argue that Trey Murphy would be a light years better fit than Jonathan Kuminga next to Steph, next to Jimmy, just spacing the floor way more than JK ever could. And he's also a player who I believe, with Golden State not really wanting to commit to much past 2027, I think he's good enough to take that chance and take that gamble of having him on such a great deal past 2027 as well. So you can trust him to carry the mantle after Jimmy Butler, after Draymond Green. You hope to bring Steph back for a couple more seasons after his current contract, but as far as carrying the mantle after a Jimmy Butler or a Draymond Green goes, there aren't many names in the NBA you could find better than Trey Murphy. Why the Pelicans do it? I mean, look, they probably don't do it, to be honest with you. There's a good chance that they would go out there and decline this trade, but that doesn't mean the Warriors are going to stop having interest and could end up making the deal a little bit more sweet for the Pels. Look, they just drafted Jeremiah Fears at the point guard spot and Derek Queen, who, by the way, they gave up draft capital to go up and move to get at the center position. What they're missing as far as their young core goes right now is a 22-year-old big athletic wing who can slash and do a lot of things for you with the ball in his hands. So I think that it makes sense roster construction-wise to bring in a guy like Jonathan Kuminga to complement Jeremiah Fears and Derek Queen there. Also, the Pelicans, like I said, traded a pick to go up there and get Derek Queen. They don't have a first-round pick in 2026. They have swap rights with the Milwaukee Bucks in 2027, who are going to be way better than them. We all know that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. That's Giannis Antetokounmpo's last year on his current contract with the Bucks, so they're guaranteed to be better than the Pelicans that season. So they're kind of in hell as far as adding young talent over the next few seasons, and I don't think that the young talent that they have in the building right now is necessarily going to make them a contender in the Western Conference. They could take that chance with Kuminga. Would you make this trade? Let me know down in the comment section. A for accept, D for decline on if you would accept Trey Murphy to Golden State for Jonathan Kuminga, Guy Santos, and 2 first-round picks. I'm going to tell you guys what needs to happen for that to be possible because it is an instant accept for me. I'll tell you, the dominoes need to fall in order to get that trade in the works. But first, I got to tell you guys about these awesome Warriors hats that I saw at this link right here, chatsports.com/Warriors hats. I like this khaki one. That's kind of my style there. But if you want to go with the little cream and the colored brim, which is I know is really in right now, you can go with that as well. Love this retro one too, Golden State from the Run TMC days. some pretty stuff here. Chatsports.com/Warriors hats. They're really fresh. They're a great gift idea as well with the holidays coming up towards the end of the year. Chatsports.com/Warriors hats to get yours today. That link's in the comment section and description of today's video. The Warriors cannot let Jonathan Kuminga sign the qualifying offer if they want to make a trade for Trey Murphy. If they actually want to get better at all over the next 2 seasons with Butler and Draymond in town, they cannot let Jonathan Kuminga sign the qualifying offer. So what needs to happen is they need to amend the deals that they have going on. Honestly, the only way that I think it's going to happen right now, because from what all we've heard, Kuminga doesn't really care about the money that much. You need to just axe the team option, make it a player option, guarantee the money, and you know what? That it is what it is. Like let's just be done with this whole thing. Get a player option, guarantee some money in the second year of the old deal that you had proposed, and we can just move on. What I believe is a little bit more unlikely than doing that is just giving Jonathan Kuminga $25 million in the first year of his deal, because typically these contracts are backloaded. There would need to be more money coming for Jonathan Kuminga on the next 1 or 2 years of the deal. That doesn't seem super likely from my point of view. My overall take is this. If Jonathan Kuminga signs the qualifying offer, you can kiss any chances at winning a championship with Steph, Jimmy, and Draymond goodbye. For the next 2 years, you will not win an NBA championship, because what signing the qualifying offer does is it just kills any chances at making trades for Golden State. He is your best trade asset, and if he's playing for $8 million on a no-trade clause, carrying no bird rights, then nobody's going to want to trade for him, and he's going to leave in unrestricted free agency next offseason. You're going to lose him for nothing, and you're still going to be a luxury tax-paying team. You're not going to be able to make trades that make you a lot better. You're not going to be able to make any free agent signings that make you a lot better. So they need to just concede this game to Jonathan Kuminga. Give in to his demands, pay him a little bit, and guarantee some money on that next year of his contract. Then they can go out there and trade him down the line once January hits. If not, then they are going to be in bad shape here for the last 2 years on Steph's contract. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. That will do it for today's edition of the Golden State Warriors Today by Chat Sports. We're going to be keeping you guys tapped in with everything that you need to know about this Kuminga free agency saga as it gets closer and closer to that deadline. So we'll see you guys in the next one. And as always, let's go Dubs.